So you're considering moving to Irvine, or maybe you already live here and you're thinking about moving to a different neighborhood. Either way, stick around because in today's video, I'm breaking down the different segments to Irvine and revealing its top 8 neighborhoods to live in. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Garrett Gahn. I'm your Orange County realtor and host of YouTube's Living in Orange County. I'm a Southern California real estate agent, and this channel is to help navigate you on the home buying and the home selling process, as well as give a little inside glance at what it's truly like to live here in Orange County. If it is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know more about Orange County real estate or what it's like to live here, then definitely consider subscribing and drop a like if you found the information in today's video useful. If you are considering moving to one of the cities that I do talk about on this channel, do not hesitate to reach out to me directly. I have people reaching out every single day and I love it. This is what I do. So as mentioned in today's video, I'm going to break down Irvine's top 8 neighborhoods to live. But before I do, I want to just kind of mention that Irvine overall I think is an excellent place to live, and you really are not going to go wrong with any of the neighborhoods that I am going to elaborate on here in a second. It's all just going to come down to your specific lifestyle and preferences. Also, keep in mind that although I am basing my opinion off of being a local to this area and helping people navigate home buying and home selling here for a living, this is just one man's opinion. So be sure to comment down below if you'd like to know more about maybe other parts of the city to Irvine that I don't cover in today's video. Let's get right into it. Make sure to stick around for number 7, as that is my personal favorite. Without further ado, in no particular order, starting with number 1, University Park. University Park is somewhere in the middle when it comes to population density. It's at about 16,000 people. Because of the small area size, it can tend to feel a little more dense. The homes here are fairly close together in the suburbs, as are most of the homes though here in Irvine. This area is commercially advertised as the city's first village. It's named University Park because of its close proximity to UC Irvine. University Park is home to tons of restaurants, coffee shops, and 3 large parks. It also directly borders the 405 freeway, so it's easy access to all of the large job markets that are in the area. Last month, the average home value in University Park was about $1.1 million, and that's up about 18.7% compared to last year at this time. As of August 2022, the average apartment rent in University Park is $2,600 for a 1-bedroom, $2,800 on average for a 2-bedroom, and then jumps to about $3,600 for a 3-bedroom apartment here in University Park. In this area, about 51% of people rent as compared to the 49% of people who own homes. Niche.com rates University Park as number 2 of 15 for the most diverse suburbs in Irvine, 4 of 15 for the best neighborhood to live in Irvine, and 5 of 15 for the best neighborhood for young professionals who want to move to Irvine. Overall, this is one of the most suburban dense neighborhoods to Irvine, so just keep that in mind as we move on to number 2 on our list, Turtle Rock. With a population of about 26,000 people, it is one of the more populated areas, suburbs to Irvine. But Turtle Rock does have a large amount of space. It has a lot of golf courses and parks to take advantage of as well. It is still a suburb, but it's going to feel like you have much more room than a lot of other suburbs in Irvine. But you do pay for that privilege, as the last month's average home price in Turtle Rock was about $1.88 million. This was up about 17.7% as to this time last year. The median rent falls somewhere around $2,600 a month. Definitely one of the pricier places in Irvine, but for good reason. The suburbs here are really beautiful, they're clean, and they're quiet. 66% of people do own their home here as compared to the 34% that are renting. Turtle Rock was rated number 1 of 15 for the best neighborhoods in Irvine, according to Niche.com. It's actually one of the first 5 villages to form Irvine during its conception. It really is a beautiful area with tons of hiking and parks available to you, and it does have plenty of shops and restaurants available in the area itself. Overall, in my opinion, if you can't afford it, I would highly consider Turtle Rock if you are considering moving to Irvine. Moving on to number 3. Woodbridge, and we will go ahead and break down both the north and the south part to Woodbridge. The biggest feature to this neighborhood is the north and south lakes. They're extremely beautiful and have tons of parks around them. With a population of about 27,000 people, this neighborhood can kind of feel a little bit different depending on where you are, just because it is another vast area and it's going to have different population densities in different parts of this region. In the southern part, it is going to feel a little more suburban-y and dense as compared to the north, where you're going to have much more room and it's going to be a little more open. And that's also why the north is typically a little more expensive than the south part of Woodbridge. The middle of Woodbridge is going to be home to a lot of its commercial buildings and its schools. The average home price in Woodbridge is going to differ a little bit, like I said, from the north to the south, but it was at about $895,000. That was last month, and it's up about 17.8% to this time last year. The median rent is about $2,600, and 57% of people own their homes here as compared to the 43% that rent. The schools in Woodbridge are excellent, as are most of the schools in Irvine. Woodbridge High School and Irvine High School both serve this region. It is mostly suburbs and homes in this area, although you will certainly have the essentials that are accessible nearby. My biggest perks to living in Woodbridge would be just overall the peace and quiet. It's a very nice place to live, and taking advantage of the lakes and the parks that are nearby. Let's move on to number 4 on our list. University Town Center. Certainly one of the smaller neighborhoods on our list. It only has a population of about 9,000 people. It does sit directly next to the University of Irvine, and because of that, you can expect a lot of young professionals and students to live in this area. This is a very small region, but it can be considered somewhat of a hidden gem, and not a lot of people are moving here or really care to know about it. The home values here were around $960,000 on average, and that's actually up about 60% from last year. The median rent comes in at about $2,400. 76% of the people do rent here because, as I mentioned, it does have a high volume of the young professionals and students. It very much has this college atmosphere around it, and there's a lot of shops and dining that you can take advantage of in this area. A really big feature of this area is the William R. Mason Regional Park. It actually takes up about 30% of the neighborhood. As for University Town Center and the people that I would recommend to move here, it would definitely be younger professionals and people that are looking to rent before buying. On to number 5, West Park. This neighborhood directly borders Woodbridge and has a slightly smaller population as well. It sits at about 14,000 people. According to niche.com, this is the number 1 neighborhood in Irvine for young professionals. West Park is a great combination of young urban areas with these quiet, sleepy suburbs. The southern part can be considered more younger and college aged, where the northern part is a little more settled and older. This is another area where a lot of people do rent. 65% of people rent here as compared to 35% that own the homes. The median home price here was $946,000 last month. The rent average is about $2,500. You can find a lot when it comes to shopping and services here, and it has tremendous schools as well. As for people who should move here, I would say if you're a young professional, it would be a great place to buy. If you are a little older and more established, definitely consider the northern part rather than the south. And that's about it for West Park. Moving on to number 6, Northwood. Northwood is one of the bigger suburbs in Irvine, and definitely one of the biggest that I will cover in today's video. With a population of about 39,000 people, Northwood is an excellent place to live in my opinion. The median home price was about $1.3 million last year. It's up about 20%, and rent comes in at around $2,600 a month. 56% of the people own their home here as compared to 44% of people who rent. This, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best suburbs in Irvine for a young family. It has a very quiet suburban feel, and it has easy direct access to some of the best schools. For what you get in Northwood, the home prices certainly are pretty fair. If I did have a young family, I would absolutely consider the Northwood community. There is plenty of shopping and services here, as well as many beautiful parks, including the Northwood Community Center and the Jeffrey Open Space Trail. Overall, when it comes to Northwood, I would highly recommend for those young families who are looking for that classic suburban-y feel, as well as tremendous public schooling. Moving on to number 7 on our list. Orange County Great Park area. This is a quiet suburban neighborhood and it has direct access to the OC Great Park. And it's a straight shot to the Irvine Spectrum Center, which is basically the hub of all shopping in Irvine. The average sale price of a home in Great Park was about $1.4 million. It's up about 10.3% since this time last year. I will say this area is still undergoing a lot of development. So making a purchase here could be a wise move before it becomes even more popular. Overall, there's really not much more to say about this area besides the fact that it is probably my favorite neighborhood in Irvine. Moving on to last but certainly not least on our list, number 8, Quail Hill. Quail Hill is an excellent place to live. It's actually going to be the most expensive on our list, with the average home price being around $2 million. Rent still goes for about $2,400 on average. About 62% of the people do own their homes in this area. It has a population of about 11,000 people, and in my opinion can be closely related to the Turtle Rock neighborhood. It is a really good sized area and there's a lot of room within the housing tracts. It gets its name from the Quail Hill and the Quail Hill Trailhead, which is the most prominent feature in this area. The neighborhood is very quiet and suburban. This area may be for you if you maybe are an older family, most of the kids are out of the house, and you're just looking for a nice and quiet place to settle. Guys, that is it. That sums up my top 8 neighborhoods to live in Irvine. Thank you for watching, and I really hope this information was helpful. If it was, please consider hitting that thumbs up button for me. It helps me out tremendously, and consider subscribing as I'm dropping new videos. Everything to do with buying, selling, investing, relocating, and living in Orange County. If you do have any questions regarding the different neighborhoods or areas to Irvine, or what it's like to live or relocate here, then please drop a comment down below or feel free to reach out to me directly. I have people reaching out all the time and this is what I do. I love it. Thanks again, guys, and see you in the next video.